Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to perform CRUD operations like create, read, update and delete images to Google Drive for your Flutter application, and this will be only Android specific. So I have already made a video previously about this, but that was using the old Google sign-in. This will be using Credential Manager. So let's get started. So firstly I have just created one Flutter project. Ignore the code which I have written, I'll come back to that later on. Just create a Flutter project for now. Once you have created it, you just go to your Google Cloud Console. So I'm inside my Google Cloud Console and just click on select a new project. Click on new project. Then here you can give your project any name you want. I'll just keep everything as default. I'll just click on create. Now just wait for this project to get completed. So here you can see the project is completed. I'll just click on select project. Then I will click on this API and services, and here click on enable API and services, and here again click on enable API and services, and here we have to search for Google Drive. I'll just click on enter, and here select the Google Drive API and click enable. Okay, so this is done. Then click on credentials, click create credentials, click on API key. We won't be using this API key, but yeah, I just like to create the API key just to be on the safer side, and I'll just click on close. Then click on create credential again, OAuth client ID, click on configure consent screen, click on external, click create. Here give your app some name. I'll just keep it as my app. Here your support email ID, so my email ID, and then I'll just scroll down. Here I will just give my email address again, and I'll click on save and continue. I'll just dismiss this. Now again here we can just click on save and continue. Here we have to add test users because I am not deployed my app to Google Play Store. Also you have to do some extra things once you publish your app to Google Play Store. I am not doing that. That's why I need to add some test users, and while checking our output, we will have to check with this particular test user only. We can't test it with other user. Once you have deployed it to production and made some required changes as well, which I will tell you shortly, then you can remove these test users and you can check with whatever user you want. So I'll just enter my test user which I will be using. You can add multiple as well. Just click on add, and here you can see it has added. You can again add more users. I won't add it. I'll just click on save and continue. Then here again I'll just click on back to dashboard. Now here you can see if you are publishing your app to Google Play Store, you also have to click on this publish app thing. I'm not publishing it, so I won't be going into that step, but do remember this. Okay, then again click on OAuth consent screen. In the meantime I need to open Android Studio as well. So what we will have to do inside Android Studio is we will have to open this Android folder which you see inside Android Studio, because that will help us to get the SHA-1 certificate. So here is my project already opened up. Again, don't worry about the code, I will show you that later on. Again, we'll come back to Google Cloud Console. I'll click on credentials, I'll click on create credentials, OAuth client ID again. Here select Android. Firstly you will have to enter your package name. So for your package name, go to Android app build.gradle, and here is my package name, so use your own package name. I'll copy it and I'll paste it over here. Now to generate SHA-1 certificate, so the easiest way to generate SHA-1 certificate when you are in developer mode, in debug mode, here I will be testing with the debug APK, right? I have not created the release APK. So for that debug APK I can just run this particular command. So I'll just open my terminal, I'll close this, and I'll just copy this and paste it over here. Now it will generate the SHA-1 certificate for me. There is one more command, so this is the other command, but here you will have to be careful. If you have multiple setups like me, sometimes it gives the wrong SHA-1 certificate for your debug APK. That's why I don't use this, but for release APK you can use this particular command. But here you will have to replace this with your release key store path. This should be a release alias name, this should be a release store password, this should be a release key password as well. But now for this is fine. Now don't just copy this, the end one which you see, you have to scroll up, because sometimes it gives the wrong the testing one. So here this you should, the first one you should copy. So this is the SHA-1 certificate which I want. Okay, now I will just go to here, I'll just paste it over here. Okay, here also they have given this particular command. Also you need to verify ownership if you are trying to deploy it to Google Play Store. I am not deploying it, so I'll just directly click on create. So this is done as well. Again, we don't require the client ID for Android, we have to use the web client ID. So again, I'll click on create credential, OAuth client ID, select web application, just scroll down and click on create. And here you will see this client ID. I'll just copy it, and here I will open VS Code and I will just paste it inside my VS Code. Later on I will use it. Now let's have a look at the code. Okay, so let's have a look at the code. So firstly, as usual, I have created a Flutter application, and if you see, I'm not really using this image picker thing, but these are all the imports I have. I will tell you, like what I was trying to do is I have added this image picker plugin, but I don't know, somehow whenever I try to pick it, I get this particular error. So I have written native code for picking images as well. The image picker, I don't know why it is not working. Like when I try to create a new project and only write the image picker code, it works, but as soon as I integrate with my Google Drive code, it does not work. I don't know. If you know, do let me know in the comments. That's why I've written native code for that as well. Anyways, but here rest everything is same. If I just scroll down, here is our home page. Okay, here I have created a method channel because we will be writing all native code. So this is called Drive platform, and there are few buttons, like one is for login. Once the user logs in, we will get the user email, so we will send it back to from native Android to Flutter side. So that's why I have created this variable. Once the user upload an image or any kind of file, in this particular tutorial I am taking image example. Once he uploads it for the first time, we get the upload file ID, so I'm storing in this, and this is the image data variable which I have created for storing the base 64, not base 64 but the byte buffer while reading the image from Google Drive. So you'll have to send that byte buffer from native Android side to Flutter side. So that's why, again, you don't really need this image picker, I'm not really using it. Then, as like I told you, first one is the login button. So here you can see we will invoke this particular method which will do sign in with Credential Manager, and it will give us the email back. Second is logout. I'm not really using it, but I am showing you guys the code in case if you are interested. Third is get permission button. So whenever we want to perform any type of CRUD operation, we have to first get the permission of Google Drive. So that's why we require this particular method. Fourth is upload. So I'm just sending the email, but like I told you guys, right, I'm written the image picking code on the native side because it wasn't working for me on the Flutter side, the image picker plugin. And here I'm just sending the, once the file is uploaded, we get the file ID, and we just add it to this particular variable. For reading, we just need to pass the file ID and also the email, and once we get the byte buffer, I just assign it to this particular variable. Similarly, for delete, we pass the email as well as the file ID, and for update, we pass the email as well as the file ID. And once the image data is not equal to null, then we just display the image, otherwise I just say no image received. Okay, then the important thing is you will have to go to the Android app build.gradle file. First go to settings.gradle. You can update the Kotlin version to 1.9.20. then go to build.gradle, and the first thing which you have to do is you will have to add this packaging thing. This is important because the Google Drive dependency has this extra thing which conflicts with some other dependency, and we have to exclude this from one of the dependencies. This is nothing, it's just metadata stuff, so you can exclude this. If you don't do this, you will get an error while trying to run the app. Then here I have added this dependency block. So these 3 dependencies are for Google sign in using Credential Manager, and these 3 dependencies are for the Google Drive API. So at least at the time of me recording, these are the latest version, but if you want to find the latest version, you can go to this links which I have specified. Once that is done, just go to src main android manifest.xml, and here you will have to add this internet permission as well. Then go to Kotlin main activity.kt, and here I will just scroll. So these are all the imports. Make sure you copy these imports because there are a lot of imports, and it is also possible that two things, like one single variable might have 2 imports, so you can have a wrong import. So it's better you copy what I have written. So I'll simply scroll through this. Feel free to pause the video wherever you feel like, but these are all the imports which I have. Then here I have specified some links. If you want, you can go through the documentation. These are all the steps for getting the Google ID, client ID, which I have already shown you guys. Then you have to replace this with Flutter fragment activity. This is our method channel result. This is our Google ID option. Is update, I have kept it as false, which I will explain you later. This is for email part, and this is our uploaded file ID. Ignore this for now. New photo picker, I'll come back to this later on. Ignore this as well, I'll come back to this later on. Here we override this configure Flutter engine. Here is our credential manager. Here is our method channel. So same name what you have defined it on the Flutter side. Here is our login method. And as you can see, I have already explained you sign in with Google using Credential Manager. So right, so I have already made a video about that. So in case if you're interested, you can watch that. So I'm not explaining that. So this is all the code. Important thing is, whatever is your client ID which we had copied over here, make sure you paste it over here. Okay, once that is done, here is our get credential request, and here basically we just call this handle sign in method, which I will show you shortly. This is for logout. Okay, this is for getting the permission of Google Drive. So here if you are requesting the permission for the very first time, the control comes over here, and then you will be navigated over here. Okay, and if the user clicks accept, we give the permission, we got the permission. In case we fail the permission, if suppose the user already has the permission and if he clicks on the button again, then we just come inside this else clause. In case if there is any failure, we come over here as well. Okay, then this is for upload. So we are getting the email which we send it from Flutter side, and is update is false. Okay, because we are uploading, which I will come back to later on. And here we basically launch this image picker. So if you see over here, the control comes over here. So the user will select an image. We have the URI for it, and if it is update is false, right, for upload, so I'm just calling this upload method. If it is update is true, which I will show you shortly, then we just call this update method which we have. Then I'll just scroll back down again. Okay, this is for upload. Then this is for read. So here we get the email as well as the uploaded file ID, and here we just call the read method, which I will show you shortly. This is for delete. Again, we get the email as well as the uploaded file ID, and then we just call delete. And similarly for update as well, we get the email and uploaded file ID from Flutter side, and I have already shown you this, right? So this update is just to check whether you are actually uploading or whether you are updating, so I can reuse that image picker code. And then this is for handle sign in. So this is when you Google sign in with Credential Manager. So the callback will come over here. So once the sign in is successful, you will get all the details. Here if you see, I'm just passing the person ID, which is the actual email of the user, but there are other things as well. So if you want, you can pass the other things as well back to Flutter side. This is how we send data back to Flutter side. Okay, and these are just catch clause. This is there are a few helper methods which I have created. So once we select an image, we get the URI for it, but we need to convert it to a file. So this particular method will help us to convert it to that. Then there is this particular method called get file extension as well, which helps us to convert file to URI. And then there is this copy stream method as well, which I have created. These are all helper methods. You can just copy paste it. Then this is the upload method. Now this particular code which you see is boilerplate code which you have to write every time you are performing any type of CRUD operations. So this will basically help us to get the Google Drive scope. Okay, and then we need to convert the image file which we have to this Google Drive file. That's what I'm doing it over here. And then we just call this create method. Once that is done successfully, we will get the file ID, and here you can see I'm sending it back to Flutter side. Then this is for reading, again the same thing, this is common. Then we just get the byte array output stream. Here we get it, and again I'm sending it back to Flutter side. If you are curious to how to get bitmap, you can get a bitmap like this as well, but I am not really interested in that. And this is for delete. So here again the same thing which we have. This will delete our file permanently, but if you want to move the file to thrash, don't want to delete it, you can comment this particular out and uncomment these two lines. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Okay, then this is for update, again the same thing. This part is same, and then we just get the file metadata, file content, and this is our updated file as well. And here I'm just displaying a toast message. Okay, and this is all the companion object helper variables which I have created. So I'll just scroll at the top, and I'll simply scroll down. In case if you have missed it, you pause the video wherever you feel like and just copy the code. So I'll simply scroll down. Okay, so yeah, that's it from the Android side. Let me show you guys the output. Sorry, I have blurred the output. The reason is because you will have to click on the login button. As soon as I click on it, I have used multiple Gmail IDs on this particular Android device. That's why I don't want to leak that, but you will have to select the email ID which you have added as a test user. So I will just select my Brave Evidence email ID. Once that is done, okay, so sign in is successful. All right, so the next thing is I will just click on this get permission button. Now I have already given the permission, that's why you are just displaying a toast message. But like I told you, for the very first time you will see a pop-up modal. There will be two modals which you see. Given that I have not deployed this app to Google Play Store, you will see a modal saying that this app is not safe, something like that. It's fine, just click on continue, and after that you will see the actual modal which the user sees, like give all permission to Google Drive, right? So once the user accepts it, you will get the you will get the proper permission dialog, which I am getting this access already granted, something like that. Then I'll just click on upload button. Okay, before that I will just go to Google Drive just to check whether I have some files or not. So I don't have any files. Okay, I'll click on upload button. I'll just select this first image which I have. So once the image is updated, I'll just get a toast message. Okay, now I can go to Google Drive. I can just refresh this. Here you can see this is the image which I have just uploaded. Also I can just click on read, and it should be able to read our image. So here you can see it was able to read our image. I can update that image as well. So I'll just select this second image which I have. You can display a progress bar. So update was successful. If I click on read, here you can see the image has been updated, and if I go over here you can see image was updated as well. And last is I can click on delete, and the image should be deleted. So yeah, the image is deleted. If I go to drive, here you can see image was deleted as well. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.